Shri Narendra Modi ji, the Honorable Prime Minister of India, my esteemed colleague Justice Suryakant, Chief Justice of India Designate and Executive Chairman of NALSA, my esteemed colleague Justice Vikram Nath, Chairperson of the Supreme Court Legal Services Committee, my distinguished sister and brothers present in the audience, Shri Arjun Ram Meghwal ji, the Honorable Minister of State for Law and Justice, Chief Justices and Judges of the different High Courts present here, the delegates from the District Judiciary, Shri Tushar Mehta, the Learned Solicitor General, Ms. Pradnya Baghel, the Secretary of Supreme Court Bar Association, Shri Vipin Nair, President and other office bearers of the SCORA, the Secretaries of Law and Legislation Government of India, the Secretary General, the Registrars and Officers of the Supreme Court, the Senior Advocates and the other members of the Bar. First of all, I wish to express my sincere gratitude to the Honorable Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi ji, for gracing this occasion despite his demanding schedule. His presence reaffirms the shared responsibility of the legislature, the executive and the judiciary in advancing the cause of legal aid and access to justice for all. I warmly congratulate the dedicated team of NALSA led by my esteemed brother and successor, Justice Suryakant, for putting together this national conference on strengthening legal aid delivery mechanisms. The sub-themes of this conference, including on LADCs, capacity building of panel lawyers and paralegal volunteers, strengthening permanent lok adalats, and financial management of legal services institutions, are both reflective and forward-looking. These sub-themes urge us to assess our progress and envision the path ahead, building stronger institutions, skilled personnel, and sustainable systems for justice delivery. Today, as I do every day on the Legal Services Day, I find myself reflecting on what Mahatma Gandhi described as his moral compass, his talisman. He said that whenever we are in doubt, we must recall the face of the poorest and the weakest person we have seen, and ask ourselves if the step we contemplate will be of any use to them. To me, this idea finds its truest expression in the movement for legal aid and the work of our legal service institutions. This movement is in many ways Gandhiji's talisman in action. It reminds us that justice is not a privilege of the few, but a right of every citizen, and that our role as judges, lawyers, and officers of the court is to ensure that the light of the justice reaches even the last person standing at the margins of the society. But have you ever paused to think, while we often take pride in the many cases we have helped resolve, what does it really mean to those who receive free legal aid? One incident has permanently imbibed in my mind. When I was Executive Chairman of NALSA, a couple of months ago, I, along with my colleagues, had visited a relief camp in Chura Chandrapur in the state of Manipur to distribute relief material. An elderly woman came forward and met me with folded hands and tears in her eyes and said, "Bane raho bhaiya." To me, that moment was a reminder that the true reward of the legal service movement does not lie in statistics or annual reports. It lies in the quiet gratitude and renewed faith of citizens who once felt invisible. In other words, the real measure of our success is not in the numbers, but in the trust of the common person, in the belief that someone, somewhere, is willing to stand by them. And that is why our work must always be guided by the spirit that we are changing lives. Even your presence for a single day, your visit to a village or a jail, your conversation with a person in distress can be life-changing for someone who has never had anyone come for them before. I want to take this opportunity to acknowledge the soldiers of the legal aid movement, or paralegal volunteers and panel lawyers. Without their tireless efforts, our vision of justice for all would never truly reach the ground. They are the bridge between the institution and the individuals, between the promise of the Constitution and the realities of everyday life. It is through their compassion, dedication, and persistence that our initiatives find life in the meaning at the grassroots. At the same time, we must keep envisioning legal aid not a reactive system, but as a living movement. We must not wait for distress to knock on our doors. Instead, we must continuously reflect on how society is changing on the new challenges, the new forms of exclusion, and the emerging needs of the people we serve. The strength of a just society lies in our ability to foresee where injustice may arise and to reach there before it does. As India celebrates the 75th year of its constitution, the legal aid movement must keep carrying forward the vision embedded in the preamble, the assurance of justice, social, economic, and political. The Constitution's promise will be truly fulfilled only when every person, regardless of caste, gender, language, or circumstances, feels that the system of justice belongs to him. I am confident that this national conference will serve not only as a platform for discussions, but also as a call to action, to innovate, to collaborate, and to reaffirm our faith in the power of law to transform lives. Let us remember that every act of legal aid, however small it may appear, is an act of nation building. As Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar once said, and I quote, "Ours is a battle not for wealth or for power. It is a battle for freedom. It is a battle for the reclamation of the human personality." These words also echo through the work of legal aid movement, which strives each day to return voice and dignity to those long unheard. Thank you very much.